2021 at 6:33. Just want to remind everyone of their declaration of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. I want to thank everyone for supporting the Every Child Matters orange t-shirts awareness. The more awareness, the better for everyone. I'm going to adopt the first one, Marcel. Moved by Marcel, second by Jordan. Be resolved that the minutes from the regular council meeting held on August 16th, 2021 be adopted. All in favor? We have no delegation tonight. And we'll move right into letters for action. Ms. Matthew.
Be it resolved that as a result of the recent discoveries of remains and unmarked graves across Canada, which have led to increased calls for all levels of government to address the recommendations in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action, the Council of the Town of Escalon does hereby commit to recognizing September 30th, 2021 as the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, National Orange Shirt Day, by sharing the stories of residential school survivors, their families, and communities.
That's moved by Tracy, seconded by Lindsay. Okay. All in favor? Linda, number 3.
Be it resolved that the funding allocated in the 2021 capital budget for the Riverside Park feasibility study be reallocated towards the coastal trail development.
Do you want to bring us up to date?
Yeah, the economic development had some money set aside for some trails. They're looking at Riverside. Since then, we've looked at doing a coastal trail along Lake Huron to the east of town. So I just thought it'd be a better spot to put it if we already had it set. That was the idea.
So that food, you said it was about 3 kilometers?
Yeah, you can make it into both 5K if we get all the approval that we need.
Like go by the ski trail?
The Stoneville Trail, like the old Stoneville Trail, so go past the lagoon, like right along Lake Huron. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's no sure.
Might need on you for some context.
Yeah.
That's moved by Linda, second by Marcel.
Yeah.
Yes, good difference. All in favor? Lindsay, number 4.
Be resolved that the response dated September 15th, 2021 be sent to the seasonal Lakeside Park residents addressing concerns he raised at the council meeting on August 16th, 2021.
Everyone had a chance to read that, I think, answered all those questions. That's moved by Lindsay, seconded by Marcel. All in favor? And Lindsay?
Be resolved that an alarm system be installed for the ice surface at the arena, with the estimated cost of the system to be less than $1,000, and with the funds to come from the recreation plus arena reserve.
Does Dave get implanted right in the ice?
Yep.
No. Ed? No, he mounts it on the chiller. Oh. So all the way to the compressor room. And the reason for this thing is last year we almost lost the ice completely. So this thing will just send us an email or a text, I guess, whatever notification. There's something wrong with the plant. Oh, I think it'll be.
As soon as the temperature switches on the chiller.
Temperature changes.
Charlie has that on the curling.
We've been there a few years now.
Couple years now after that.
Been a few winters, but we've had close calls. But they even help us save electric motors and such as, as well.
We're just in half phase and stuff. And
Yeah.
kicks
Get
in.
it back in there, 'cause
It's a cheap fix. Moved by Lindsay, second by Marcel. All in favor? Lindsay, number 6.
Be resolved that a response be sent to the arena canteen operator advising that the request for the reduction in the monthly rent amount, as well as the request to prepare pizzas at the arena and sell them to the school be declined, as per the signed Bethel Memorial Arena Canteen operator contract. With response noting that an adjustment to the monthly rent amount will be made by prorating the amount at the beginning and the end of the season if the arena does not operate for a full month.
Very good with that. Let's move by Lindsay, second by Marcel, all in favor? And Lindsay, number 7.
Be it resolved, the town of Thessalon pamphlet should be created in-house or created in-house. Not very dolphin. Very safe.
There's pictures too there. If anybody's got a chance to look at that pamphlet there, Julie was like 90%. 90% of it, and Lindsay kicked in 8%.
8?
2%, but I think it shows the town well. Let's move by Lindsay, second by Marcel, all in favor? We'll move right on into committee and staff reports. Jordan, number 8.
Be resolved, the accounts payable to September 20th, 2021 in the total amount of $466,324.54 be approved for payment, noting that for any member of council who has declared a pecuniary interest with regard to any account, their approval is based on this account being excluded from the total accounts payable.
There's no F here this month, it's because of the pioneer payments stuff for the road, which is supposed to be included, looks really good. Moved by Jordan, second by Linda, all in favor? Tracy, number 9.
Be it resolved that council approve the mandatory COVID-19 vaccination verification policy dated September 20th, 2021.
That's moved by Tracy, second by Lindsay, all in favor? And Tracy, number 10.
Be it resolved that in accordance with Article 14 and specifically Section 1401 of the collective agreement, the federally declared National Day for Truth and Reconciliation be recognized as a statutory holiday on September 30th for employees of the town of Thessalon.
So that's a federal holiday, but it's written into the contract, the union contract, that we accept all federally provincial holidays. So there's no choice. Let's move by Tracy and second by Lindsay. All in favor? Jordan, number 11.
Be resolved that the Rose Lake funds of approximately $61,000 be invested into a 1-year GIC through the Northern Credit Union with 0.8% return.
Yeah, that's not a real big investment return, but best thing, it's okay. Let's move by Jordan, second by Linda, all in favor? In another few hours, that'll go up by 5%. Jordan, number 12.
Be resolved that since the property on Lawrence Street East, which was advertised for sale through the tax sale process, did not sell, taxes be written off, and the school board be charged back that share with the property to be advertised for sale through the tax sale process a second time at a lesser minimum tender amount.
Which property is that?
by by the flower pot. By the flower pot, by the corner there.
Oh.
So that's moved by Jordan, second by Linda, all in favor? Jordan, number 15.
Be resolved that the council accept the quotation from BDO Canada LLP for a 2-year extension to the contract with the cost to be $20,675 plus HST for the 2021 audit and $21,300 plus HST for the 2022.
That's moved by Jordan, second by Lindsay, all in favor? It was a $500 increase per year. Yep, Linda. Savings. Jordan, number 14.
Be it resolved that the quotation from Algoma Office Equipment for a multi-function photocopier in a monthly amount of $53.96, including HST for a 5-year term with a buyout of $125.70 plus HST accepted.
You have to pay for coffee on top of that, or is that just?
Yeah, it's gone down, it's like 0.08 cents a cup or something like that.
Should be cut back
It's
on
like
our-
way
should be
down.
cut down on our paper consumption here anyways.
I want to say that Deputy said we went from 8,000 sheets a month to 2,000.
Yeah. Well, that makes also difference when we quit doing the council papers.
So this machine, we didn't need a super duper, we didn't need a photocopier like the one we had.
No.
So we don't use it. So that's moved by Jordan, second by Marcel, all in favor? Jordan.
Be it resolved, the council approved the recommendation of the finance committee that the multi-residential class tax ratio be lowered from 1.7 to 1.26, and further that the tax ratio for commercial class be lowered from 1.33 to 1.2, both effective January 1st, 2022, with an amount to be withdrawn from the working funds reserve to offset the impact of the increase of the remaining classes.
Does everybody understand those ratios? Because, you know, just that small little change affects all the ratios. So it should be more attractive to the multi-res as we move forward. Moved by Jordan, second by Marcel, all in favor? Jordan, number 16.
Be resolved that with regard to the fitness room access program, council upgrades the new CDEI crypto Bluetooth integration for mobile pass feature program with a 4-year lease option in the amount of $69.82 plus tax per month, allowing access either by the use of a key card or a phone application.
That's moved by Jordan, second by Marcel, all in favor?
So that changes the.
Yeah, no, upgrade all the software and stuff too, because right now you have to like, go through and count how many members you have that are active and not, so this would be good. Where you go.
Make it as easy as we can for them.
Sometimes.
17.
Be resolved that the community building fund and capital stream be completed for the installation of a splash pad and seniors outdoor fitness equipment at Peace Park. This application being 100% funded.
That's moved by Jordan, second by Marcel, all in favor? Jordan, number 18.
Be resolved that the municipal modernization program intake 3 application be completed for a software program that will allow for digital modernization, which would include health and safety records, daily vehicle checks, maintenance, CPR records, mechanical safety inspections, etc. With this application being 75% funded.
Moved by Jordan, second by Marcel, all in favor? Randy, number 19.
Be resolved that the rules of procedure be suspended in order to address a recent issue involving the rural water line.
Moved by Randy, second by Linda, all in favor. We're going to move right into Ken's report, which is part of that rural water line report. Whatever you
Water issue at Green Lane, the background, everybody realized we supply Green Lane residents with water. Asset management program shows that that water line was installed in 1910 and it was 100-millimeter cast iron pipe. Town replaced all the curb stops on the line within the last 10 years. The line has always had low water pressure ranging from 32 to 35 psi. Must be a psi. We've had numerous complaints regarding this over the last while, but there's really been no change in the water pressure over the years. And just all of a sudden, we're getting a lot of complaints, and it's all basically the same risk. Our aqua plant manager tells me there's no way of increasing the water pressure for this line. It's always been in that range. So the issue is we received a call from the resident of Green Lane Saturday, September 11th regarding an issue with the water. She claimed the water was discolored. On-call staff went to Green Lane that day looking for a potential water leak. He also called the aqua plant manager who determined that there was no leak. The aqua guys, they can tell just by the pressure gauges of the water treatment plant, even if it's a minor leak, they'll know we have it. Staff checked with other residents on that line on Monday, September 13th, and no other residents seemed to have the same problem. We decided that was an isolated incident. The same resident called again this past Saturday, being September 18th, with the same complaint. The mayor also received a call from the neighbor, that person's neighbor, and an email from them as well, showing photos of the discolored water, and there was some chunks of, say, rust, I guess, in there as well. He received a call from the complainant, the first complainant, on the 19th as well. Our aqua plant manager also received a call regarding the first complaint on the 18th. Both residents were told that nothing could be done until Monday. We spoke with our aqua representative as well as our weekend on-call staff member on the 18th. The Algoma cattle yard started operation on September 16th, and they would have been using considerable amount of water. We decided that this increase in water usage may have caused the discoloration. Sunday, September 19th, when I spoke with our aqua representative several times, he suggested a plan of action was to flush the entire line, possibly on Monday, the 20th, being today, and the flushing would need to occur for a period of 4 hours. On Monday, September 20th, both the aqua representative and I attended. All the residents were the complaints that came from on Saturday, September 18th. At the time, most residents' water flow was clear. The aqua representative took samples of each residence and determined that there was no bacteria in the water. In the meantime, we had staff attend each residence on Green Lane water spur and provide them with a written directive that we'd be flushing the water line in the afternoon of the 20th, and they would be without water, have very little water pressure for a minimum of 4 hours. They were also instructed that as of 5 p.m. they should run their water for a 15-minute period to clean out any residual water that may remain in their lateral surfaces. Flushing did begin at noon today. So he flushed the line until 4:30. So several times with him there, and it was definitely, as it started, the flush was the color of that desk, I guess. And it was like that for about 2 hours, and it started to clear up, and you could see by 4 o'clock it was slightly yellowed, but it was much better than it was. So he flushed till 4:30, and then he figures there's still going to be sediment in the line because it ran like that all day. So tomorrow morning, hopefully everything clears up and it should be good to go. The two people that had the complaints, I went to their houses. To the doctor fellow's first time. I had seen him. He was actually there a few times at the flushing station to see how things were going, and he could see that the water was actually getting better. So I asked him, he was there when I went out to check to see how it was, and he just headed home, and I said, well, go home and turn your hose on for a bit and let it run, and then I'll come and check. So about 20 minutes later, I went to his house, And he showed me he had a coffee cup, a white coffee cup, and it was still yellow, somewhat, cover Hubbard shirt, I guess. And then within 5 minutes, it cleared right up. It was clean. I went over to the other house and knocked on the door, but the resident wouldn't open the doors. I'm sure theirs is better. So I'm going to go back out in the morning, meet with Mark out there, do some more sampling. He did take a bacteria test as he completed his flushing today, and it was safe. Basically, the water is safe to drink. It doesn't look very good. I wouldn't drink it, but it is safe to drink it. That's what we're worried about.
And Mark did take, Sunday, he did take a bacteria test too.
He did at the Cattle Yard. He took a couple of them Sunday. So, and again, it wasn't very appetizing looking, but it was safe to drink. So. Anyway, that's where we're at. We'll see tomorrow what's up, I guess. And then I've asked Mary Kay to schedule a meeting with the water committee Wednesday or Thursday. Discuss, or if we need to discuss options going forward. I don't think that line's been flushed as regular as it should have been. So going forward, we'll have to do a better job of making sure that it's Aqua's job to do that, to make sure that they're giving it.
Probably when the low pressure, it's just more apt to build up due to them.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be flushed twice a year, and it hasn't been flushed, I don't think, since I've been here. So.
You're flushing that thing much at 112 years old, we might be opening ourselves up for some.
Are we supposed to direct them to do it, or they're supposed to do it on their
It's
own?
part of their maintenance schedule. Sometimes we have to do reminders, and sometimes it's like even in town, something we won't get done.
So if we have to replace that line, are we solely on the hook for that, or does some of that go to Huron Shores?
I believe it comes from reserves, and when the reserves are depleted, then to the Huron Shores residents.
Gerard brought that to me.
Like we can't, like, your insurance goes well, that's not.
They can't because the cattle yard and
MTO, probably MTO and McGill.
That's it.
Probably not. They're kind of a-
In the, that's the agreement. Doesn't it say in there that the residents aren't allowed to call you guys? They have to call Huron Shores, and Huron Shores is supposed to call?
You would think, and I guess that's.
I'm
where
sure
we-
it says, I'm
That's
sure
where
we
we
read
went.
that in there before. They're not allowed to contact you directly.
Yeah, we went through this before.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to bring it up, because, I mean, I got some emails and some conversations, and Ken did too, and they weren't the best.
No, but I don't think they
And
shouldn't
I
be.
don't blame it, you got bad water, but, I mean,
Kind of reflecting bad on us, right? Like,
yeah, it's just that, yeah. It wasn't, there was some disgruntled people.
Yeah.
so that's the reason we get on shore, they're all just reached out directly to us.
I think so. I'm not sure. I've sent some communications off to Harry Haddock, the Ambridge guy, as well as the clerk treasurer, just to see if they've been getting these calls first. They should be somewhat involved in this, or at least aware of what's going on, because if it does come down, and have to replace that whole
I
line.
think they should be telling the residents that they're not to call us.
If that's in there,
Harry
then
should
we
go.
definitely communicate that to Harry. That's what's supposed to happen.
If you go to 10-2, Dirk, the biggest thing too is where,
We've, in the last well, they put that test station on the end of the line, so they had to go in and actually expose a 112-year-old line or whatever it is, and cut it, and then had this test station at the end of it. They said the pipe was solid and clean as a whistle at the end of it, so you think it was going to build sediment up, because it had ends that thing. It would have been at the end of it, right? So,
some of those laterals that the guys have are possibly galvanized.
Oh, yeah.
and they're long.
Yeah, they're
Oh, man.
And long.
both of all the houses from
Yeah, they're right
Munro
back on
Lane
the
are
road.
back there, so. It's probably the biggest issue is the laterals.
Well, Mark did say, like, if the town chooses to do so, I guess this is what happened out there in the past, is the town put a water advisory on, that absolves the town of any responsibility.
Liability,
And the well water advisory was on for like 10 years.
Yeah. He said just shut it off, but.
We got Chapel, we've been paying for that service for how long, and they haven't done it. It's part of our agreement with them, we're paying that, like, when we went down through that whole process this year, that was probably an item list of what we paid for.
I don't think you want to rather gauge too much, they do a lot of stuff for us, and we'll charge more too. So.
should do
Mark
it.
actually blamed that on his counterpart, because he was supposed to be responsible for doing that, so.
That's a good idea.
So you said that like they were using more water than they were in the past.
The cattle sale is on, right?
You could also limit their water. Says it in there, town has a right to limit the amount of water. So you can always. I mean, they get all water to the county there anyways, do they not?
Try to go into use it twice a year for.
Yeah, they don't.
But then it's like,
But
it's probably like a big
Well,
shock.
Mark said that she had 3 hoses hooked up filling something too.
Yeah, she filled her hot tub, I think that's when this all first started, she had the outlet roadside connection, she had 3 connections to that one line, so that means the capacity was that much more.
People are.
That's when she
complaining.
noticed hot tub was clean, and then all of a sudden it was sharp plundered water.
There before you get to the county, so there's no.
She's before the cattle yard, yeah.
Yeah, she's upstream.
But if the cattle yard's using more water, it's gonna go by them, so if there was an issue, it's gonna.
I guess.
But it never happened before in other years.
This tend to, I guess it's, agrees, the town in partnership with the municipality will make any necessary application for funding for future replacement and or upgrades of the main line. With the municipal, its share to be borne by the affected property owners. Any costs associated with the same will be borne by the municipality. So, I mean, I've read that like 100 times. I'm pretty sure the municipality is responsible for any upgrades.
We only have 7,000 reserves, and then it goes back to them, like, anytime Kenny and our staff, so
So
it will be,
that's
we'll be half of that gone this weekend, overtime.
Yeah, we're taking out of that reserve for any of these calls. Right? We're gonna pull all that,
Oh,
like,
yes.
all the costs out of that.
Because yesterday was an expense.
Yeah. So then that's gonna pretty much complete that, so.
So that's above and beyond of our aqua, like, all our aqua funds will come out of there, those are extra call-ups too.
It's in a reserve fund just for that. green.
This is just for the municipal
So we
agreement.
don't like Kenny's time and aqua's funds will come out of there.
All my time.
But still a cost for that. Something like this.
Yeah,
it's a cost
true,
for
I
that.
guess.
Oh, yeah, it's still a.
Today was right.
That balance might be slightly higher, I believe from last year, that he said it was around 6,700, so there would be more money.
But any kind of asset of ours that was out there due to this Green Lane situation should be charged back to that. Kenny's.
How do they, how do they put that, that's not just their fees that goes in there, or how does that, fund get?
How does that fund increase?
Surcharge.
Surcharge, small, yeah.
Can't be very much, can we look at increasing it?
7,000 a
There
year.
are other things that we could do, like Mark said, the simplest one is put well water on and walk away from it. Obviously, municipality controls, but filtering system, property. We can install these swabbing stations as well, those would be expensive. Yeah, because you have to take the line on, take the line for these stations on there, and then you can swab it because of the pressure going on. That's the stick, basically sponge ball down the water line. Well, if it comes out pressure, and shove it to the end, and if it doesn't get to the end, then, so, you can find that ball.
It's only got one, what do you say, 1.7 kilometers.
It's, 700 pure pumps.
Yeah, and then he said, what did he say about Plummer? They put a booster pump in, 10 years ago or something, was $3 million to boost the pressure. So he said it'd probably be 10 now, so.
For how many residents out there?
Hey.
How many residents are out there?
There's not, how many did?
30,
Is there that many?
small boundary,
Eh?
small boundary roads.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
MTO, right?
So
McDougal's and MTO, yeah.
this is something that, yeah, you guys start working.
People coming in. Good day. Hey, can I help you? No, across the DIOF, I'll do it down the road beside the arena.
Alrighty, thank you.
Across from the post office.
Hey.
John, he's voting for this. You know what I
It's
mean?
definitely something that we're gonna have to make sure we start working with the Huron Shores, because there's gonna be a pretty big bill there one day.
Then we have to sell fire.
we seem like the easy out for them, maybe if they're putting it, you know.
Of course, they're not gonna pay nothing then.
Well, it's just, any other time, there was a question, you know, it's pretty easy for them to say, well, town of Essex, a bunch of water.
Yeah.
So that's the thing we supply. But
So I'll let the water committee know at least in the morning what I found out.
Thursday would be better for me, Ken, if
Yeah,
possible.
that's fine. I think Mark said Thursday. He actually was hoping to wait till Thursday to see if we check the water and give a couple of days. But I wasn't going to tell him about that. Check it in the morning.
Union negotiations.
Oh, maybe not. Oh. Sure, sorry, sure. Lakeside Drive project update. The tender included the installation of concrete pads where picnic tables and benches were placed. The invoice from the contract was submitted to the funder, and the funder has come back and said those items are not covered under this grant. We pitched our reasoning to them as why we think they should be included, but they still denied payment. We will need to cover the cost of these items, which total $10,914 plus HST. Funds for this item could come from the working funds reserve, and there won't be any further items that are not covered by this grant. Like that. The entire project is now paved. The walking trail is complete and the pavement markings are also complete. New signs for the west entrance and the park sign have been installed. All of the remaining is some shouldering and application of hydro seeding at various locations. Placement of topsoil on the west entrance, and we're still waiting for approvals from Ontario Hydro to put the additional lighting in for Dawson Street and along Lakeside Drive. So I don't know why it's taking so long to get their backlog on COVID as well. So we've had to go in with the funder. The completion date for the grant was initially, I think, the end of October, but we have till 2026 to actually spend that money. So we've gone in and added a year to it. And they're fine. So takes the pressure off a little bit. Cameras for the transfer site. We're experiencing break-ins to the transfer site on a regular basis, like almost every 2 weeks. I'd like to purchase, because we manage the transfer site, we'd like to purchase a couple of cell-capable game cameras installed at strategic locations at the site. Should the break-ins stop occurring, there are many other uses we can use the cameras for. Currently, I have 4 of my own game cameras being used. They're located at the transfer site at the park, the new sign at the west entrance, and the platform and walking trail. They're not good cameras, but they're better than nothing, I guess. Cost of the cameras would be less than $1,500. The funds could come from the Recreation plus Environmental Services Reserve. Those types of cameras, they send a signal to your phone, right? They send a picture.
Like the one like we put out at Rose Lake?
Yeah. So even if they stole the camera, we'd still have.
There's a GPS in it, so you can find the camera.
Yeah, they're infrared. Like even my camera that we used, they took a decent picture in the daytime, but we had damage to our garbage can, to the lookout platform, to the rock cut, and then one of the election candidates there had something painted on one of their signs. We had just taken the camera down for the big sign area, and we would have had on there who did that, but we did have the camera up on top of the hill, and we're pretty sure we seen who it was that painted the garbage can, so we talked to the police in there. They were going to talk to that individuals. So that'll help. These new cameras are infrared as well, so they'll take a lot better picture of them than the one mine did. Your nice service alarm system, I think we already talked about that. I guess I should have took that out of there. Surplus council chamber chairs, desks, sorry. We replaced 6 desks in council chambers if they're not required by any other department, etc. I would propose advertising for sale on local paper on our webpage. Should we advertise them for sale as a lot or individually? Whatever you folks decide. Arena startup date, the ice plant will be turned on. Initially it's going to be October the 8th, but I spoke with my ice plant guy today, and he said the 12th would be fine, so that's safe. Not having to pay overtime on the long weekend to have somebody come down here, keep an eye on that thing, so it'll be a little bit rush after that, but we should still be fine. Getting into the ice surface is supposed to occur on the 19th, and if everything goes well, we can hold public skating on the 22nd. Otherwise, we'll meet to the following Monday, which is the 25th when it starts. Rentals. Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, Huron Street West. Sent the application for the grant for Huron Street West in. Further review, the application showed that sanitary and storm sewer would not be covered by this grant, only water was covered under the grant. So the grant. We sent the application in anyway, with water being the primary reason for our application. Just sanitary and storm sewers as well, that would only, as it only would make sense to do them all at the same time. Should the funder come back denying the application based on them being included, we will remove them and possibly find other funds to cover the sanitary and the storm portion of the work. Water Street's been completed. And the invoice is a little bit less than what their initial bid was. I think they had in there that they were going to paint lines on them. They didn't have to. So.
Always better.
I don't understand that grant for Water Street, like, why would they give you, have you dig it up and redo, and not do sewer, and storm sewer? Like, I don't understand.
It makes no sense. I guess the good thing about it though, like if we do get the funds and they deny that portion of it, we'd have to find, I think we kind of figured out the money we'd have to put forward, town share would be almost cover that the storm sewer and the sanitary anyway. If we brought the grant value down, we'd have to still come out of town funds, but we could do it a lot cheaper as the excavation's already open.
Yeah.
Put those two items in there. I'm just afraid Huron Street is really going to cost us a lot of money here, unfortunately, on the stuff that's in the ground there.
Yeah, there's been some major breaks on the side.
Yeah, and even the repair we did is.
Well, and the big water leak there a few years ago in front of the church too, remember all the pavement lifted?
But if we do get the grant that comes in and all the excavations done.
Yeah. It costs us the money and the labor to lay it down.
Find that money for sure. Has anybody got any questions for Kim's report? The roads are all good. I guess now we have to slow people down.
Yeah.
We get complaints a lot.
Water road there in Water Street?
Water Street's one of them. I got a complaint this morning about Water Street. So
I
pretty,
hear it all the time in the restaurant.
Which one?
Like in front of Lakeside Park.
Oh.
Big circle now, everybody just flying around there.
We should post something, you know, just
Into water.
about posting our new, posting on our social media too, just keep in mind, so I always try to do some more due diligence by posting around, like. Another world there, you know. Or signs, even posting it like on social media, like, you know, or all the work we did, looks beautiful, but keep in mind the speed and stuff.
write a few pieces of paper. Also.
Well, that's what I've seen Ozzy, and I'm like, just go sit up there and ding 4 or 5 guys, the world get around pretty quick too, like, they ding 2 of them coming out of Timmy's, 2 of them coming out of Ship Change at the Manor there, well.
They have.
No, they should, that's what I told them, like,
So the signs aren't slowing anybody down?
no, I think, I don't want to talk about that, but, I think they put that sign in the wrong spot, so, the one down towards government. Like the speed sign, it's only about 60 feet from the intersection, by the time, like, I gouged on the other day and I was only doing 35, so the time you pass that, and you hit the top of the ridge where the houses are, like, they're back to doing
Didn't we already
70.
have it up there and we moved it?
No, we moved it.
It was past
It was
the entrance to the hospital.
Yeah, right.
I told them whatever it is. I'll take the blame for that. If you want to move it, we can move it.
I was thinking, like, you know, right by the pines right across from Shaw's place right there, because then you can still see coming down the Stewart's place going in the way there. They can go in between the Stewart farm and the original and the other one, but. Cause that's the thing, as soon as you pull off the government, it's only about 70 feet up the road there, and you'd be really hammered on it to be going over 50.
You like to think when you've seen the thing, we'll measure their speed, if we can drive past it and then put the hammer down.
No, I just gouge her and keep on going.
What were those worth?
$6 grand or something, maybe $6 grand.
Each.
The one by Timmy's works, so I've seen where people come down there and it's going past too fast and all of a sudden you see brake lights come on.
Yeah, well, I hit that one catches me like 58 coming off. that one coming down the.
Yeah, I think the other day we come back from Birchland, same thing. Flashing too fast.
And the one pulling onto Dawson Street, you know, you take the curve and you start going up.
This is complaining about speeding, what's he doing, speeding?
Well, coming down the side, you just come home from work, and then you cut down, because it catches you pretty far up the ramp there too. It works.
Doesn't it slow down?
Oh, it works.
We can do that. Do we? It's
You
almost
do
like
that,
getting a mobile.
stand up,
one,
wheel
so
and
maybe
roll.
we can turn that one into a mobile one.
That would be handy.
Yeah, no, this is the Ontario Northland there.
Do you have any updates on the hydro?
I was out walking on the walking top there, and a bus came down there. I mean, came by the park. there.
Yeah, you said you
Still had no
wondered
idea.
why it was taking so long.
What?
I was wondering why it was taking so long.
Thought it had to be on camera.
Yeah. Camera, you're in.
Acting lights and everything.
Well, I said, I was right out the middle of the road. Every day I watched it happen.
If you want to make a mobile sign, I might have a perfect trailer.
We can do that. We'll see if that one moves it, they're gonna talk about it, and it goes along.
Well, they come from the mountains, the schools, they go over there, and they come around, and instead of go back downtown, they come down there.
Yeah.
So we're moving forward to number 20, Randy.
So I went out there.
Be resolved that the monies required to cover the expenditures on Lakeside Drive reconstruction project deemed ineligible for funding in the amount of $10,914 plus HST come from the working funds reserve.
Superintendent's wages.
Thought those were free.
Yes, moved by Randy, second by Linda, all in favor?
What was the reasoning for denying that? Just that didn't meet the criteria? Wasn't
They
it?
said all on safety, and they didn't see it as safety. Well, we have to sell it as something, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
had to be safety.
Because it wasn't an original tender, doesn't matter. Just didn't find a need. No need.
I think it's shocked them when they see the number, they didn't read the number right when it was like 52 meters of concrete. They thought it was like 52 pads with tables and chairs on them. I think that's what kind of, otherwise it probably would have blown right by them. Try to explain it to them, that, you know, that's not the case. It's 2 inches and 2. And then we tried to sell them a safety thing for, because we have that walking trail, we have that paved shore and everything here now. I thought they would have bought it with like a sinker, but they didn't. Lesson learned.
Randy, number 21.
Be resolved that cameras be purchased to address the break-ins being experienced at the transfer site, with the cost to be less than $1,500, with funds to come from the Recreation Plus Environmental Services Reserve.
That's moved by Randy, second by Linda, all in favor? Randy, number 22.
Be resolved that if after checking with other municipal departments and interest has not been expressed in acquiring any of all or the 6 recently replaced councillors' desks from W.J. Barrett Council Chambers, etc., the desk be declared surplus and advertised for sale as a lot or individually.
How would you like to do that? Let's just stroke out whichever one.
Try selling them as a lot. If it doesn't go, sell them individually. If it doesn't go, no.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't come.
So, yeah, we'll be about $25.
So we gotta come up with a price.
About one of mine, if you want to-
Got some dozen screws.
They're not worth it.
Randy's doing it pretty shaky.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, mine only had 3 legs.
Yeah, if you set the price to get more than one line, then not the phone, so if it doesn't bid, then we'll take the highest bid.
Yeah, because they're not worth it.
We just want to get rid of them.
Needed desks be declared surplus and advertised for sale first. That's a lot, and it unsuccessful individually. That's moved by Randy, second by Linda, all in favor. Marcel, number 23.
Be it resolved that further to the note dated September 1st, 2021, from the clerk treasurer regarding Tri-Neighbors Board Management Member at Large, considering the separation aspect between the governance role and the administrative role, council requests that Tri-Neighbors Board Management actively recruit a member at large.
So,
Good big stack.
do you want to say something about this, Robert? How did that come about?
Well, I think I hope I explained it in my report. I researched the bylaws and then ran my findings by the ministry for their input and came up with that conclusion after. So the bylaws, we've gone through it. I've given it to Debbie with changes I've suggested. We should have, I think, time to look at it. There's one thing that should be changed for sure, and a few other things that could be just to make it more correct.
That's moved by Marcel, second by Jordan, all in favor. Marcel, number 24.
Be it resolved that council acknowledge receipt of the committee and staff reports.
That is moved by Marcel, second by Jordan, all in favor. Everybody's had a chance to read the letters for information on Phenom and Seniors Healthy Aging Committee. We'll move into general business. Marcel, number 25.
Be resolved that bylaw number 2442 being a bylaw that licensed trailers in the municipality town of Thessalon for temporary accommodations be passed in open council this 20th day, September 20th. Hopefully we got that word correct. Temporary.
So I'd like to thank Lindsay for lots of time in this. So it's a very good job. That's moved by Marcel, second by Jordan, all in favor. That's 100%. Marcel, number 26.
Be resolved that bylaw number 2443 being a bylaw to amend the user fees and service charges of Schedule F bylaw number 1800 be passed in this open council this day of 20th September 2021.
That's moved by Marcel, second by Jordan, all in favor. Marcel, number, before we move into closed.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Well, see you next time.
Yep.
Gordon Miller. Night.
Zoom open.
That's moved by Marcel, second by Jordan, all in favor. Jordan, number 29.
Be resolved that with regard to closed session item number 1, council move forward with new asset manager and administrative coordinator position to commence the process in accordance with the hiring policy.
What's that right away though? No.
Yeah, because
Well, the plan is because her contract. Her
Or did I
contract.
7 day term? 7 day term?
That's moved by Jordan, second by Marcel. All in favor? Marcel, number 30.
Be resolved that with regard to closed session item number 2, council pursue the acquisition of land on North Highway 17.
That's moved by Marcel, second by Jordan, all in favor? Marcel, number 31.
Be resolved that bylaw number 2444 be the bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the meeting of council held on September 20th, 2021 be passed in open council this day of September 2021.
I know, you get a little tired, Tracy? I know.
But maybe work for the last one.
But you would get up a little earlier in the morning to run into the afternoon. Moved by Marcel, second by Jordan. All in favor? Goes back to second.
Okay.
Goes back to the white right when you got. Marcel?
This meeting be adjourned at 7:45 PM.